Welcome to the another episode of Abstract Thesis series. In this series, we are digging deep into the Power BI concepts. If you have not subscribed, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you can get notification for our new video. Hello and welcome to another video on Abstract Thesis series. In today's video, we are going to discuss how can we segment a text measure. And the text measure that we are going to create is basically the customer retention measure, which tells us whether the customer is new, it's lost, or it retained. So let's go ahead and do this on Power BI. So I go to Power BI and I already have some month-on-month measure. So first of all, I have this sales measure, which is sum of net sales. And then you can see that I have this MTD measure, which is dates MTD, and LMTD measure, which is basically nothing but a month behind measure, dates MTD, but a month behind. And I have various articles where I have shown you, how can you do this customer retention. It could be month over month. It could be month versus rest of the stuff and all those. These all permutation combination is possible. So we are just talking about two periods, one period and a period before that. Now that period before that could be 1 month, period before that could be, the entire duration before that. Similarly, it could be month, it could be year. The current period and the previous duration could be similarly month, year, or the complete duration before that. So we just need two periods and we are going to do this same stuff again and again against those two periods. Okay, so whether it is year, whether it is 1 month and rest of the stuff, whether it is 3 months and rest of the time frame other than 3 period, all follows the same rule. So let's understand what we are trying to do now. So let's take customer first of all, and that's what we want. So customer table, we need name from the customer table. Okay. And now what I want here is I want both the measures, the sales measure, MTD and LMTD. Now what is happening here? Look at this carefully. Anyone who came in this month and did not came last month, he is a new customer for me. I gained that customer. Anyone who came last month and did not came this month is a lost customer because he did not came. So all these are lost customers. All this is my new customer. Okay. And those who came both the months, they came this month also as well as last month. I think we should get some record somewhere where the things happen at both the months. Let's sort it. And I think if we sort on the last month, we should be able to get something. And this is a table, so I can sort here also. Shift and sort again. We have some data. Okay, I saw one. At least one customer is basically retained. And now the problem here with the date could be the date, we are using the last month. So what I'm going to do is from my date table, I'm going to bring in some month here. I'm going to put it in some month where we have a lot of data, and so we get some overlapping data. So I go to my date table, I bring in month here, and let me make it as a slicer. And most of my data is available somewhere here. And now you see a lot of retention. Okay, what is retained, what is not retained, a lot of that is there. So now let's create a measure which says, is it a new customer? Is it a lost customer, or is it a retained customer? So we create a measure. So we go ahead and create one measure which we call is type, customer type. Basically, this is customer retention type. Let's call it customer type. So we say switch. We are going to use switch statement. In the switch statement, we can use it in two manner. We can give a set of, we can give an expression which could be a measure or could be column, and depending on whether we are creating measure or column, and then we can check its absolute values, or we can give here true. Basically, once we give it true here, it means you want to check condition in each and every line. Alt enter, alt enter, alt enter, and let's begin. Alt enter is going to give you new lines. Now, first of all, how do I know it does not exist in last month or this month? So the best thing is to use is blank. So let's talk about the new customer. Is blank LMTD. Okay, sales LMTD is blank, and not is blank. I have not written correctly. Not not is blank, MTD, sales MTD. So current month is not blank, the last month is blank. This is my new customer. I copy paste this, I pressed enter. Now this is what I have to avoid. Alt enter. Now if it does not came last month, but came, it does not came, so okay, we have done it wrong. Is blank last month, okay, new. Now not is blank in the last month means he came in the last month, but it is not came this month. He's blank in this month. Then he is a lost customer. And ideally speaking, third option is both are there, but let's still do it. Let's still call it not and not, and that is retained. And if something we still missed out, let's call it other, and let's see, do we get anything in others? Okay, formula seems correct. Let's commit it. We got it. So now let's get this customer type measure which we have created right now. Let me search it here. And now let's try to see what is happening here. Let's click here somewhere. Now this is retain. You're fine with the retain because both the months you are seeing the data. Lost, 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 because you see the data in the last month, but not in the current month. It's lost. You see in the data in the previous period and you don't see the data in the current period. Now current period could be month, 3 month, year, and the period, last period, according to leaving the current month, it could be last month. Leaving the current period, it could be last 3 months or the complete duration or the last year, depending what you need. And then we see retained and lost. Do we see any new? And for to see the new, I think the best way is we could just go and just do a sorting here, and then we will start seeing new and retained. Now the challenge here is this is a measure and I can't take it on an axis, isn't it? You want to take this measure on an axis, then that's not possible. It will not go to the axis. Then how do I say something like the count of retained, new, and this one? And I have given the measure in my blogs. You can use those, but I don't want that. I want this to be my axis. And that's where we are talking about dynamic segmentation. Now, segmentation in Power BI requires one additional table. Now here this additional table is a text table. So no generate series, no bucketing between the ranges. I need hard coded text and I need to do that using enter data. So I go under the home tab in the enter data and I'm going to create a custom type table, customer type. I can call it customer type here or cust type. Let's call it with the complete name, and we are going to exactly write down the same name: new, old, new, lost, and retained. And this is, and the column name is customer type. The table name can also be customer type. Everything is customer type. Okay. Now we got it. But these two tables are not going to interact with each other. Okay. And that's the one thing. Second thing is that the customer type is at this level. Okay. Customer level. So I need to calculate, in my calculation, I need to have that. And whenever I use an independent table, and you have to remember this, when we use this independent table, now let me bring in customer type here. And if I want to bring this customer type measure, see, it's not going to make any sense out here. And first of all, customer type need calculation. So two things the calculation should consider. One is basically this customer type, which is in the context. The second thing which they need to consider is the customer should also be there in the context. And I don't want customer here to be in the context. So I need to bring that in my formulas context. Now, because customer table, the customer is at the right at the ID level, the same name or ID I can use, then I can go ahead and use the customer table also. I'm going to tell you the two ways and we are going to compare that. So we are going to create count customer, and this is how I'm going to do it. And I'm going to say count X, and I can use sum X and I can get my net also for the same kind of customer. Count X, and I use customer table. I'm not using values. I'm not using summarize here. I'm right now directly using customer table, and in the customer table, I'll also add the filter. And let me try out this. I take the customer table, I go ahead and say my major customer type is equals to max of customer type. Fine. Now when I say max here, it means this needed in the context, and then I can use a major or I can use this. Okay, customer, I can count ID or I can count name. What I've taken, I've taken complete customer table, so I can right now have a flexibility to count the customer IDs. Okay, and let's see what happens. Let me remove this. Am I getting some number? I'm getting some number. Okay, so I'm getting number and total. Now total, don't go about total. Let's discuss that later, because total should have been matched with the count here. Simple customer count, whatever I do, that customer count should have matched here for this month. And just to know what is that count actually, let's go to the customer table and bring in count here, card visual count. It should be around 6,000. Now this is right now we have used the customer table. Now let's bring in the other way. So the other way here is, this is count customer. And the reason these numbers are not going to match is basically in that month itself we are talking about new customer, and we are talking about 2 months here so the number may or may not match. Okay, let's look at this. Where is our customer count customer? Okay, let's create on one more major. So we will create count customer 2. And we say count X, filter, and this time around I use values, name of the customer, customer name, customer table name, and then I say filter. What is my major? My major is customer type, equals to max of customer type, and then I count then I should be able to count name here. Okay, name column, and if it gives some problem, we are going to make it as a customer name. Okay, now let's look at this number. Now we need a little bit of space. Okay, time for us to validate. So let's export this data, and this is how you should do. So I'm going to download this data somewhere. Let's say I'm going to download it in downloads, and let it call as customer segment, and let's save it. Now let me open that file. So file is open now. Now let's take first of all how many rows we are getting here. So we are getting 2,667 rows. Okay, so it means the number is correct. 2,666 is the number where we have some data. Okay, So that's the number which is coming 2616. So what is that number? 6000. 6000 is total number of customers. Okay, so that's why the number is not. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's build up a pivot table on this one. Okay, isn't it? So let's select this data and build up a pivot table on this. But we don't need anything which doesn't have data, isn't it? So we get this and we say insert and we say pivot table. We say okay on the new page. Customer type and count of the names. We need count of the name. Let's remove this. So count of the name. So lost is 1060, new is 1156 and 450. That's the same number we are getting. Okay. So now let's go back to the Power BI and try to see that can we bring this total also there correctly. Right now the total is not correct. So let's go ahead and look at it. So what I'm going to do is let me do one more calculation on top of it. And this time I'm going to do sum x. I'm going to say the table which I need, which is values, customer type, comma this, and I'll add a calculate here. Okay. And let me see, does it make any difference here? So we got the correct total here. So basically, and remember to add a calculate here because it doesn't have a calculate right now. And if you don't give it without calculate, the total might not still come out. And remember, this is one table which is not joined. So it's a present. So first we are making sure that we are calculating it customer. And in that calculation, we are using the max of customer type. And that's where the join is going to get correct. And finally, we are going to get the total. So this is how you can do it. You can get the correct total. Same way we can correct the other, and we can also try out with only with customer type because it only has the 3 rows. So that's another way we can try it out. So try that out and do let me know your feedback on this particular video. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you. Keep watching, keep asking questions in comments, subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you can get notification for new videos. Thank you.